Hi, and welcome back to Dr. Kieran's Math Hacks. Yesterday I was talking to a student about lots of different things, and at one point he asked about perimeter, area, and volume. And I said, oh, I'll get back to that. And I forgot. So this episode is about perimeter, area, and volume. What are the differences? How can you tell what you're dealing with? What do we do? How do we treat them? Let's take a look. All right, some people have a difficult time with distinguishing whether they're looking at perimeter, area, or volume. So perimeter is the distance around the outside of a shape. Okay? For example, it is something you can walk. Its value is measured in a single distance unit. So length. For example, if we look at this box, the perimeter is what we get if we were to trace around the outside of the box. That's our perimeter. The distance along the outside. We get this distance by measuring the sides and adding them up. For rectangular shapes, rectangles and squares and such, that's just going to be 2 times 3 and 2 times 2. So that is 6 plus 4. So that would be 10. The perimeter is 10. So we're adding it. Let's look at some examples of perimeter. Things that we have as a perimeter are frames for pictures, fences, and woodwork, and paths. So, a frame, you want to put it around the outside. You don't want to cover the picture. Fences, you want to put them around the outside. You're not going to fill up the whole yard with a fence, right? Woodwork goes around the outside of the room. Goes around the outside edge, along the wall. Paths. If you're taking a walk around the outside of a park, you're just walking around the outside. You're not stepping on every single piece of the park. Now the area. An area is something that forms a surface. It is something you could paint. All right? Back to our box. Okay, the area is the space of the box. All right? We could color this all in if we wanted to. All right, so we have our box that is 2 and 3, right? So what we end up doing with area is we want to find out what this value is. Not the distance around the outside, but the face of the value. All right? Area is given in length squared because we're multiplying. We're multiplying 2 times 3. Which is 6. And then the units are squared. If these are inches, then this is 6 square inches. Okay? So if it's a surface, if you can pat it like I do here, then it's an area. I can't pat a perimeter because it's the distance around the outside, right? That would be silly. All right? So now let's look at some examples of area. Okay, floor space is an area. Looking at a house, it's got so many square feet. You're buying carpet. Square feet. A picture has an area. If it's an 8 by 10, it's 80 square inches. Tabletops have an area. This board has an area. Things that have an area are surfaces. So now let's look at volume. Volume is something you fill. And it is length cubed because we have three dimensions when we're determining volume. Okay? Here's our box. We have this side, and this side. So for volume, we have to multiply all three of them together. Okay? So we've got, to draw a volume, you draw the square, and then you draw the same square just moved over a little bit, and then you connect the corners. Okay? So now we need to find the three different dimensions and multiply those numbers. Okay? So let's look at our box. If we said this was 2 and this was 3 and this was 1, we are multiplying 2 times 3 times 1. 6 cubic inches. These are inches. Okay? All right, this is square inches, this is cubic inches, because this one we're filling. And this one we're padding or painting. Okay? So let's look at examples of volume. Volume are things you fill. Pools have volume. Coolers have volume. Depends on how many cans of soda you want to stick in there, right? You need to increase the volume. Okay, boxes. How much stuff you can put in them. So those are the difference between perimeter, area, and volume, and how to find them with rectangular shapes. If you found this video useful, please consider liking, sharing, or subscribing. In addition, if you want this information in a way that you can have for your very own, check out my book on Amazon. See the link below.